The best way to fix my credit. Hi, I'm Amber Coleman with Guild Mortgage, and credit seems to be everything, right? When you go to get something. And sometimes I wish they taught this stuff in school because a lot of people just don't know it. And by the time I reach them and say, okay, do this, this, and this, and then you're in the right place. Because when you go to buy a house, you need that. When you go to buy a car, I mean, who wants to pay all your money that you're making to interest, right? And if you don't have good credit, cars, credit cards, houses, they're going to get you with higher interest rates. So let's figure out how to maximize your credit so that you can always get the lowest rate that's available on that day and never have to pay a penny extra in interest rate. The best way to maximize your credit is you're going to look at utilization of the credit. So how the bureaus weigh you, and there's no other way for them to weigh you but by your actions that you give towards your credit. So the first thing you want to do is open up credit. That's one mistake that I'll see some people do is they think, oh, I don't like credit, or I'm not disciplined enough to have credit, or whatever the limiting beliefs are that that person has. So they just don't open any credit cards. And then when they go to get something, they don't have any credit. So there's no way for the bureaus to weigh you when you don't have anything. So even if you get a credit card that has a really small limit, like $300, to be honest with you, the way the credit weighs you has nothing to do with how high your limits are. So let's say you have a credit card that's $300. That's the max that you want to do or that they'll give you at this moment. You want to maximize your scores. A lot of people think, I got $300, let me just spend it. That's how you hurt your scores. So how the bureaus weigh you is they're going to look at how often you're late on that payment. So if you're not late on the payment, they're going to give you more scores. So if you're consistently making that credit card on time without going more than 30 days late, then they're going to give you higher scores the longer you have that card for. Also, what they're going to give you higher credit for is that $300 credit card that you have. If you want to maximize your credit, keep that balance below 10%. So $300 is your max. You're going to only charge that card up to $30. So you're not going to really use it for much because you can't really buy much at $30, right? But you're going to use it for a little bit each month just to establish credit. So you're not looking at it as a means to have something extra that you can buy. You're just going to establish the credit. So you're going to use that card $30 and then you're going to pay it down to 10. Use it up to 30, pay it down to 10. Use it up to 30, pay it down to 10. Repeat this month by month, and the bureaus, who are the ones that are giving you the scores, are going to see that you're responsible because you have $300 to spend and you're leaving $270 every month on that card. So it shows that you're responsible because of your ratios. It also shows that you're responsible because you're making it on time. So after having that card over a certain period of time, you're going to get to pretty high FICO scores just by doing that. Car loans are also good to have on your credit. There's not really a way to manipulate car loans like you can credit cards. You can raise and lower your scores really fast by what you have in balances on your credit cards. Car loans aren't really like that, but what they like to see on car loans is that you're consistent on that payment, right? And what I've noticed is if there's too many installment loans on one credit report, it does deem you. So the installment loans, if you can keep that limited to 1 or 2 on your credit, an installment loan is a car loan or like a secured loan that you're taking at a fixed rate. It's different than a credit card. So on those, if you can limit those down to 1 or 2 on your credit, you're going to maximize your credit scores. If you have a house, a car, a credit card, or 2 or 3, you're going to do good. And the longer you have these things, the better you're going to do. So if you can avoid ever being 30 days late on anything that shows up on your credit, honestly, on anything at all, just get in the mindset of, I took out this bill, I signed the dotted line, let me make the payment on it, then your credit is always going to be good. If for some reason you've had a bankruptcy in your past or a foreclosure in your past or a judgment or something like that, keep in mind that these things like bankruptcy, foreclosure, they're not going to be removed from your credit, but they're going to stay on there for 10 years. You can still, the older those become, the less they affect you on your credit. So you can still maximize your scores. Like I've been able to see credit scores at like 720 with a bankruptcy in the past. Once that bankruptcy or foreclosure is 10 years old, then it falls off your credit. And watch, when you see that happen, your credit jumps big time because that's now come off your credit and you don't have that holding you back, but you can still get a good credit score if you've had that in the past. So I've talked to many clients and they say, well, I've had a bankruptcy in my past, and I ask how many years ago, and I'm like, girl, that doesn't matter anymore. It's so old that it's not affecting you anymore. So let's look at your new stuff that's on your credit. The other thing is collections. So try to avoid collections. So if you move out of an apartment complex, make sure that you're taking care of everything with the apartment complex so they don't hit you later, because I can tell you what they hit you with has interest, and it's a lot more than what you would have done if you would have just taken care of it when you moved out of the place, or set up a monthly payment with them so that it can get taken care of, because those will haunt you for a long time. If it's a collection, it'll stay on your credit for 7 years. After that, it can be removed unless it's big enough and the company decides to put a judgment after you. So the best thing to do is just pay your bills. If you can't pay what it is at that point in time, then work something out with the creditor. A lot of times they'll work out a monthly payment or something with you so you can get it taken care of, and that way it doesn't hit your credit. Medical collections, kind of the same thing. If you know you owe something to your doctor, make sure to take care of that. And even if you pay him $10 a month, it doesn't matter how much you pay him, as long as they don't put it on your credit. Look at your credit as something that I'm going to use this so I can save money for the rest of my life, right? Because I mean, the better your scores are, the better your interest rate. Whatever is the going rate of that day, you'll get that rate as long as you have over, I'd say, a 720 FICO score. So just make sure that you're paying your things on time. Make sure you're utilizing the revolving credit. So your credit cards, your utilization, and I only use $300 for an example. I know $30 is not a lot, but you can get credit cards at a higher limit and just stay in that 10% rule. At worst case, go up to 30%. But when you're first starting credit, try to stay at 10 so we can maximize your credit, and then longevity will take over, and then you can go to higher limits on your credit. So I hope this video was informative for you. I hope it helped you to figure out how to maximize your credit and to really use your credit to your benefit. It is for you. If everybody's going to weigh you based on credit, you can work that system. You got this, okay? If you like this video and you want to see more informative videos, please like and subscribe to my page, and I hope you have a great day.